report right here, or video footage that I'm going to go through with you from the Palestinian resistance, in particular Al-Qassam brigades, from their latest operation in Rafah. This is an operation that I spoke with you about 2 days ago approximately, where 2 of the Israeli elite force unit Yahalom have been killed. Israel confirmed that they were killed. However, this video shows 4 people going into the ambush. Now, of course, they might have been killed too, or they might have been severely wounded. Today, the Palestinian resistance, they published more footage. And what people should consider is the resistance, they do not have any declarations unless their attacks are verified. And they do not always publish footage and videos about their attacks based on the circumstances that are on the ground, developments that are happening, security considerations, and also strategic considerations. However, clearly this operation that happened 2 days ago, the Palestinian resistance felt like they can actually publish this information. Now, these people who were targeted from the Israeli terror forces in Gaza, from the Yahalom unit, they specialize in finding tunnels, special operations, trying to find tunnels and destroy tunnels inside of the Gaza Strip. And throughout this video, I'm going to go through it clip by clip with you without going in through the whole thing, because it's obviously in a different language, in Arabic. But they called it the gates of hell, the ambushes of the gates of hell. The Palestinian resistance told the Israelis, if you're going to continue the operation in Gaza, the gates of hell will be opened on you. And now they are delivering with what they promised Israel. So we've had these statements coming from Al-Qassam brigade saying that they had this operation in Rafah, one of their fighters telling them that we promised you with the campaign, the gates of hell, and he also said that we will continue these operations against you. Here, the Palestinian resistance showed a map of this location where they actually conducted this attack. This is an area that Israel is calling the Morag axis, a place that they expanded from the Philadelphia corridor to the north. They're saying now that all of this is a parameter or a security buffer zone. The Palestinian resistance is monitoring them. So they're seeing their movement. They know where they're going. So they started by publishing this map of the area. And this, according to the Palestinian resistance, was the area where they targeted the IDF terrorists in, which is in Rafah. And according to Al-Qassam brigades in their report here, they said that this ambush began by the Palestinian fighters going out of a tunnel opening to confront the genocide soldiers in the area. So they went out to confront them so they can attract them to the place where they're fighting them from. And they said they had altercations with them from 0 distance. And as they were planning before, they went back, the fighters, to the actual tunnel so that they can lure the Israeli terror forces in. Then, as soon as the Israeli terror forces came in from the Yahalom unit, which is an elite unit in Israel, the Palestinian resistance detonated an explosive device in them, killing and wounding them in that location. These were, of course, some of the images of the altercation that they had between them and the Then the actual Israeli army starts to send small drones to monitor the area. And they also sent a dog. So this was one of their drones. And they also sent a dog afterwards to check. And then here we have the Israeli soldiers. So clearly, so what happened here is very interesting. The fact that Israel is sending these drones and these dogs is to make sure that the area is safe. They can smell anything like explosives or whatever, anything dangerous for them. The fact that they had their dogs go in and they had this drone and they felt like it was a safe area means that the Palestinian resistance clearly made effective moves to trick them, to fool them, to give them false confidence that there is actually nothing there. And anything that they targeted them with was very carefully put together in the relevant location to have a successful operation against them. So like we can see, the dog is coming, and then the genocide soldiers start to come in, 4 in total. And then the Palestinian resistance confirms that these people are killed. That's again based on Israeli confirmation, by the way, because Israel confirmed that these people were killed. And Israel is not really, we're not used to Israel confirming the deaths of their soldiers in Gaza, but in recent weeks, there has been a trend of them confirming almost every attack that's happening against them for some reason. Is it like a move that is deliberate from the Israeli media to try and apply pressure on the Israeli prime minister, or is there a different reason? We're not entirely sure. There are different options there, but they confirmed that these 2 people from the Yahalom unit were killed in that ambush and others were wounded too. But of course, as we can see from the video, there were more than 2 that were targeted. And then the Palestinians go back to the tunnel safely, promise Israel with more operations, and then they target a tank coming to rescue these people. And they targeted with a Yasin 105 RPG, as you can see here, totally taking it down. Then they also had a D9 bulldozer. Israel had a D9 bulldozer. Then the Palestinian resistance targeted the D9 bulldozer too. This operation has a lot of significance. The significance of this operation is the fact that we're talking about an area that Israel has been in for over a whole year. As a matter of fact, Israel was promising that they will be taking down the Palestinian resistance final brigades in the Rafah area over a year ago. And afterwards they said, that's it, we took care of them, but then we need to go back to the central and the northern areas. If you recall, if you've been following this conflict, this genocide from the beginning, Israel began with the north. They began their ground invasion. Then they were talking about invading Rafah. There was a lot of talk about, oh no, don't invade Rafah, supposed pressure to not to do it. But then they said, oh no, we actually eliminated Hamas in all the areas of Gaza and we need to go to Rafah. Then they went into Rafah only for them to declare that we're going to go back to the central camps and we're going to go back to the north because some of them are fleeing to the total chaos. And it shows the true intention of the Zionist entity's actual plans for the Gaza Strip, which is genocide, destruction, and misery on the civilian population. Now, how did Israel respond to this operation? They responded in the traditional way that they respond. Savagery and massacres against the innocent civilians. Children wearing, school bags thrown on the floor, pools of blood in an area that has several restaurants, dozens of people killed and wounded. Savagery. And why do they conduct these acts of savagery? To hide their failure. This is what Israel has been doing since the beginning. All of these massacres against the civilian population in Gaza is to hide their tremendous, enormous failure in effectively targeting the Palestinian resistance, because the Palestinian resistance, as we can see, is still extremely capable and will continue to be extremely capable. And it's Israel that is being humiliated day after day. The Palestinian resistance is monitoring the Israeli genocide soldiers, luring them, having carefully calculated plans against them, effectively executing their plans against them, and withdrawing safely without being targeted. All of these things are extremely significant, and shows you a very high level of capability from the Palestinian resistance at multiple levels: equipment levels, personnel levels, intelligence levels, and equipment levels too.